Welcome to Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, where we take the history of the West off the rails.
If you like your history unhinged, you are in the right place.
I'm Shea.
And I'm Jody.
Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Jody.
Shea.
Let's set the scene. A packed courtroom. A judge. Robed and trembling with fury. Clergy flanking both sides of a great marble aisle. The smell of incense thick in the air. A defendant slumps in the witness chair, silent, slack-jawed, and completely still. Is he asleep? Drunk?
I think he's drugged. He's sedated.
Makes me almost want to sing a Ramon song. Would you like me to?
No.
Okay. Neither. He's dead.
Oh, what? He's just sitting there? Is he the defendant?
Yes.
Sitting
The
there
defendant
dead.
is a corpse.
Well, you know what? He's got to face his actions.
Yes, he does, apparently.
Even in death.
And this isn't just any corpse. This is the Catholic Church in 1897 CE. And this corpse is the corpse of a former pope.
Whoa.
Today, we're digging up...
Wait, he's infallible. He cannot be there. He can't get prosecuted. Keep going. Sorry. It's my Catholic background.
This was also 897 CE.
Oh, this is before they were
Things were a
infallible.
little bit different. Today, we're digging up one of the weirdest trials in history. And I do mean digging up, quite literally. Normally, on Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, Jody and I take you on a joyride through the most unhinged, facepalm-worthy bits of history from the rain-soaked, tumbleweed-blown, or absolutely off-the-rails corners of Western history. But right now, we're currently deep into silly summer season, a virtual road trip where we leave behind the familiar fog and Bigfoot tracks of the Pacific Northwest and instead sniff out the historical weirdness from around the world. Now this week, our story was actually inspired by some real current events. As you may have heard, the Catholic Church recently elected a brand new pope, and this one's from Chicago.
Pope Leo.
Yeah, which means the Vatican now runs on deep dish pizza. I'm fine. I'm here for it. We almost got Pope Pizza Bala, which would have been the best.
Pizza bala.
Pizza Bala. So in honor of this fresh papal chapter, I thought we'd look back at one of the weirdest chapters in Vatican history. And I do mean weird. So today's stop, Rome.
Rome.
So let's unravel the tale of the Cadaver Synod. I think that's how you say it. Synod. S-Y-N-O-D.
Synod, I would say.
Synod. The Cadaver Synod. Yes, that is a real thing, and no, your brain isn't having a stroke. Buckle in. It's going to get gross and petty, and I'm so here for it.
I'm here for it. This is our jam.
Okay, but how do we even get to the point where someone thinks, let's put a dead pope on trial?
Yeah, we need to go back in time here.
Okay, so well, to answer that, we're going to rewind just a little bit further. So let's talk about Charlemagne. So Charlemagne, a.k.a. Charles the Great, was crowned Emperor of the Romans in 800 CE. And for a hot minute, it looked like the church was going to make out like a bandit. He brought stability, literacy, and high standards for the clergy. But when he died in 1814, things started to fall apart. His empire was split amongst his grandsons, Louis the German, Charles the Bald.
Charles the Bald. Oh my gosh.
And Lothair. I think that's how you say
He didn't
that.
even get a the.
He didn't even get a the. I mean, anything's better than Charles the Bald.
Right. I'm good with not having a the.
He's like, can you not just keep calling attention to
I
it?
can imagine every day. Hey, Charles the Bald. Yes.
Maybe it was Lothair the Short, and he finally kiboshed that, or Lothair the Stinky. I don't know. And these three fought a lot. The once mighty empire turned into this unstable patchwork of many kingdoms constantly beefing over borders, titles, and which cousin technically had the biggest claim to the throne. So Rome was stuck right in the middle, and the papacy, it became a football kicked around by squabbling noble families and rival emperors. The line between church and state blurred so hard that it practically disappeared. Popes were expected to play power politics as much as preach. And at that time, bishops were elected by local clergy with the approval of the lay people, which meant that the influential noble families controlled who became bishop and basically who became pope. And they weren't all elected for their spiritual abilities, their spiritual attributes. They were elected because they were supported by a certain faction. And at this time, there was a new pope almost every year.
Wow. That was quick.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have time to be effectual at that.
It would just be what family was in power.
Oh, good grief.
By the time Pope Formosus steps into the picture in the late 800s, not 1800s, not our favorite time. The papacy is no longer just about faith. It's a game of thrones, land grabs, and cutthroat alliances. And you better believe grudges from beyond the grave. So let's rewind back to the 9th century. Europe is in its medieval hot mess era. The Holy Roman Empire is splintered. Feudalism is on the rise. Everyone's either trying to kill a rival noble or get canonized. And smack in the middle of all this chaos is the papacy, the head of the Catholic Church. Now, you'd think being a pope would be the ultimate, chill retirement gig for a bishop. Nope. In the 800s, it was basically a death sentence with better hats.
Well, yeah, every year you get a new one.
So, let's enter Pope Formosus. Formosus wasn't your average priestly figure. He was ambitious, well-traveled, and constantly getting into other people's business. Long before he became pope in 1891, he'd been a bishop, specifically the Bishop of Porto. But Formosus had this annoying habit of sticking his nose into imperial politics. He backed rival kings, stirred up dissent, and even tried to get himself set up in Constantinople. It's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Okay. Where was I? Now I lost my spot. Tried to get himself set up in Constantinople at one point.
Did your mom teach you that song?
No, that's They Might Be Giants.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I learned that in middle school, and I was just thinking in social studies class, and I was like,
yeah, it was They Might Be Giants.
But
Alice and Gil's favorite band.
They must have taken this from that, because I learned this long before They Might Be Giants. I was a child.
Okay, yeah, probably.
I was like 11 when
yeah,
I learned
because this would have been from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the guy made more enemies than a medieval landlord. He got excommunicated from the church in 1876 for trying to become the Bishop of Bulgaria, also being a traitor to Charles the Bald, and coveting the papacy, which was a crime at that time. So luckily for Formosus, he was reinstated in 1878 and finally elected pope in 1891. So a totally normal resume for a pope.
Absolutely.
While pope, Formosus did a few things that really pissed people off. Namely, he had become all buddy-buddy with the German king Arnulf and prompted him to invade Italy to dethrone the ruling Spolitan family, a powerful noble house with deep ties to Rome. Arnulf invaded twice and was successful on the second attempt and crowned Emperor of Rome by Pope Formosus. Did I say porp? I did, didn't I?
Yes. I was like, is that a porpoise?
It's fine, let's leave it in.
The porpoise.
The Spoliatans were not amused. But Arnulf had a stroke, literally in the middle of marching towards Spolito. I think that's how you say it. And Formosus, he died shortly after, in 1896, probably of a stroke too. Most people would call that the end of the drama, but not the Church of the 9th century. 2 popes later, enter Stephen VI, which is what?
6.
Thank you. You know me in Roman numerals.
It took me a second. I had to.
Well, yeah, because V is 5 and then there's the 1. He was determined to punish Formosus, and it wasn't enough to simply accuse him or smear his name. So how do you punish a man who's already decomposing in the ground? Simple. You dig him up, prop him in a chair, and put him on a trial in front of a screaming crowd of cardinals and bishops.
Wow.
It's time for the Cadaver Synod. So this is pretty over the top, right?
Yes, this is so... Hold a grudge. I mean, come on.
Stephen VI had Formosus's 9-month-old corpse. So remember, 9 months, and this is 2 popes later. That's fast. 2 popes. Actually, it'd be 3 popes in 9 months. He had it exhumed from its grave in St. Peter's Basilica. Now, this isn't just a freshly dead body we're talking about. No embalming, no refrigeration, just good old Roman air and time. According to several accounts, Formosus' corpse was so decayed that it had to be propped up on a throne, dressed in papal robes, and maybe even tied together with string to keep it from falling apart. And then Stephen just starts yelling at it. The charges? Violating church law by ruling over multiple bishoprics at the same time. I guess that's bishoprics is a plural for places you are a bishop of. Bishop districts. Bishoprics. Sure. I feel like that word's made up. committing perjury, and illegally aspiring to the papacy. He wanted a full spectacle. To be fair, Stephen did attempt to give the deadbeat a fair trial.
The deadbeat.
I mean, he is. He's just sitting there. In a move that just...
fair trial, he's dead.
In a move...
How fair he can't defend himself.
Right. Well, in a move that just served to make things more insane, the church assigned a deacon to act as Formosus's defense attorney. So can you picture that poor guy? He's just like standing next to this crumbling corpse, trying to make legal arguments in defense of this man that's literally falling apart next to him.
Right, that's what I was thinking. It probably doesn't smell like rotting flesh anymore, but it cannot smell good. It's musty and oof.
Yeah. So Stephen screamed at the corpse while the deacon's weak defenses were drowned out. To make the scene even more dramatic, an earthquake shook the San Giovanni Laterano Basilica during the trial. I probably said that wrong. Onlookers took it as a sign of God's outrage for the grotesque spectacle happening in the church. In the middle of this trial, there's an earthquake, and it's like shaking all around them.
Oh my gosh.
Very dramatic. And the outcome?
It seems so, like, especially at that time, you'd have to be like, God is talking to us. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Set an earthquake.
Right? He's like, stop this nonsense.
Or they like...
Or he's guilty.
Right. They'd interpret that some way, right?
Right. And so, of course, he was found guilty. But it doesn't end there.
Did they send him to prison?
I mean, just about. So Stephen nullified everything Formosus did while he was pope. Every appointment, every bishop he ordained, every degree. It was like medieval cancel culture on a divine scale. Then came the punishment. The corpse was stripped of its papal robes. The 3 fingers he used for blessings were cut off. I'm showing Jody 3 fingers like I'm going to bless her. He was buried in a cemetery for strangers outside of the church's land, which is a big thing, right? And then dug up a second time. And finally, because we're dealing with a major drama queen here, Formosus's body was thrown into the Tiber River.
God, he just couldn't let it go.
I know. They just yeeted that pope's body into the river.
And he still needed revenge and consequences.
So Rome's reaction? Absolute disgust. So in Rome, it was an ancient tradition to dispose of the bodies of the most egregious criminals by throwing them into the Tiber River. So according to some legends, it was even the place where Pontius Pilate met his end.
Oh.
It was the place you threw anyone who you wanted to completely destroy in this world and the next. And in doing this, he denied the possibility of Formosus's body being transmogrified into a holy relic, because they would do that with popes back at the time. The public was horrified. Even in an era where executions and corpse mutilations weren't uncommon, this was a step too far. Riots broke out. Citizens called for Stephen's resignation. Within months, Stephen VI was imprisoned, and shortly after that, strangled to death in his cell.
Whoa.
Karma's a bitch, right?
Somebody was getting there.
Right? Didn't you get the message from the earthquake?
Yeah. You are not on the right path, sir.
As for Formosus, his body allegedly, according to legend, that's what allegedly is, according to legend. Look at me putting 2 words together. Washed ashore. I never really thought about it that before. Allegedly would be according to legend.
Literally saw like the light go on over your head. Your eyes were like,
allegedly.
What?
Legend.
How did I know?
I'm not always the smartest.
Yes, you are.
I'm dumb in special ways.
Yeah.
I'm dumb for this little duck.
Meaningless ways. You're smart in all the meaningful ways.
So it washed ashore, and I guess some legends say performing miracles, but maybe that was just creative storytelling. Either way, the church took the hint. Pope Theodore II and Pope John... What would IX be?
9.
9, thank you. And Pope John IX both held synods to reverse the Cadaver Synod. They reburied Formosus with honor in St. Peter's Basilica and declared the corpse trial invalid. The 3 missing fingers were long gone, but at least they gave him proper burial this time. But later, just because this saga refuses to die, Pope Sergius III, an ally of Stephen VI, came to power and re-condemned Formosus. So if you're counting, that's 1 pope tried him, 2 popes defended him, 1 pope tried him again, and all of them were dead within a few years. It's like ecclesiastical ping pong, but with bones.
Boing, boing, boing.
So what have we learned today? That medieval Rome was a drama factory running 24/7, yes. That Papal politics were just high stakes medieval mean girls. Also, yes. That maybe, just maybe, once someone dies, it's time to let it go.
And let it go.
Yeah, definitely.
Holding a grudge for real.
So this story reminds us of two things. History is weirder than fiction, and nothing is too petty for the Vatican in the 9th century.
So do you think now, in current times, that they have eradicated that kind of behavior and thoughts and pettiness? Or do you think now they just know how to keep it from being exposed out into the world where we all see it?
Do you think that the behavior of humans, and especially humans of a certain chromosome, have
The
changed
unemotional,
that much?
the unemotional type?
Right.
Yeah.
Have they changed that much?
No.
Over the centuries?
No.
Okay.
They wear different clothes.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
But still, funny hats. All right. Well, thanks for rolling around in that crypt dust with me today. This has been a pretty wild rabbit hole.
Very wild. And on a Sunday, Shay.
I know.
Oh my
God. Nobody knows when we're recording this. We could be recording this on a Wednesday. Well, again, hey, if you like this sort of thing, why don't you leave us a review? Apple Podcasts is great. On Spotify, you can leave basically a comment on an episode, or you can just do a 5 stars. It's nice for other people to be like, oh, people like this podcast. Maybe I should listen. Share it with a friend, though. That's the most important thing you can do. Share it on your social media. We like that, too. And then you can always support us. Patreon. So why don't you go to rainydayrabbitholes.com/support and check that out. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on the season of summer, silly, what are we calling it? Silly summer season. Yeah, we'll see what we have next time. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And
see you down the rabbit hole.